Welcome everyone. My name is Kevin Olson and this is going to be my first training series video. Today we are going to be discussing macro cycles and periodization for canoe racing. Okay, we're going to be discussing the concept of periodization, and I'm going to help break it down for you so you can understand it a little bit better, so you can utilize it in your own training. Okay, so the concept of periodization. What does periodization mean? Periodization is a pretty simple concept. All it really means is that we are breaking our training into distinct periods of time. Okay, so with that being said, there's a multitude of ways on how you can or cannot um, block out periods of time and how that will help you get better with your training. There are three major groups of periods that we discuss about in a training world, and that would be your macro, meaning your largest scale, your meso, meaning a medium scale, or your micro, which meaning at the smallest scale that you can go. We're going to be discussing today based on canoe racing, but you can also apply um, any of these principles to any other sport or just general fitness. Okay, so in the realm of canoe racing, I, for myself personally, break my macro cycles into three distinct ones. Okay, there's going to be the off season, which is going to go from the my last race of the year until I start training for the next canoe season. Then I will transition into what I call the preseason. From the preseason, will start right when I'm going to start training for the racing season, and it'll go right up into the last macro cycle, which is going to be the competitive season. And that's going to be from my first race until my last race. So when we're talking, and as you can see, these are like 3, 4, maybe even up to 6 month time blocks. Um, so these are just the most basic way to break up our training. The reason it's smart and important to do this is so that we can now start to develop structure to our training and really develop why we are training. Okay, so I'll give you guys a little examples using myself as an example. And for my off season, I'm going to basically pick a couple of things that I want to focus on. Okay, this is not the time of year that I'm going to be focusing on speed and work like that. I'm going to try to work on my weakest areas, so weak point training. So for me, I always struggled with the start, um, in the sense of the first like 10 to 15 minutes. So I've actually been actively working on lactate tolerance. Okay, so basically accumulating a lot of lactate by training above my lactate threshold and getting comfortable working at that in whatever capacity that is. And that's actually a very good thing to do in the off season, seeing how it's still going to keep it's still going to keep a good aerobic abilities up, and it's also going to have a lot of other benefits come competitive season. My other goal in the off season is going to be improve my running. Okay. Now, when I go to my preseason, then my goals change. I'm not going to be focused on that as much as developing my aerobic base. So that's going to be one of my major um, goals of preseason. Competitive season is developing speed and maintaining everything that I've gained from the off season and the preseason. So that's pretty much all you have to do when you're breaking down macro cycles. I know it seems pretty simple, but that gives you a lot. Like if you're just going out and just training and you don't know why you're training or what purpose it is, you're gonna be all over the board. And yes, you will get some results from general adaptations to physical exercise, but you're not going to maximize your athletic potential. So in our next series, I'll talk about mesocycles, which are basically going to be mini cycles inside of our macrocycles. And this is going to be more predominant in preseason and competitive season. So we can then hone in and achieve those major goals that we have from our macro cycles. Okay? If you guys have any questions on training or anything related to canoe racing, please don't be afraid to leave a comment in the messages below. Please like this video, subscribe, share. Please get the word out. I'm really trying to help grow this great sport. So until next time, guys, keep paddling.